What's up to all my P.I.A listeners and viewers? Welcome to another episode of P.I.A Podcast. I'm here today with a very lovely and special guest. But before I get to her, I want to give a special shout out to Blameless Street Clothing. They are legit, they are real. They just hopped on the scene, dropping hoodies, dropping face masks, dropping t-shirts. Man, they are great. Stay Blameless is their Instagram name. Stay_blameless. I'm gonna write it down in the bio, so you could go click on that and you can find them on Instagram and order your merchandise. I want to also give a shout out to Today Is Not Owned. This is another clothing line, Christian clothing line. They have a website out. I'm going to put their website in the bio, and just, you go on that, website, go support,
Shop,
buy some merch.
Sweaters, hoodies, crew necks, sweatpants.
Yeah, she knows all of it. Yeah,
everything.
Yep.
See, I support you guys. Mellow, Malik, we're out here.
Yeah. Shout out to Blameless and shout out to Today Is Not Owned. Just go check them out. That is all for the shout outs. Let's get into this interview. I don't know why I'm calling it an interview. It's not an interview. But anyways, let me introduce my lovely guest, Roshaina Novam, a.k.a. Jason's wife. But yeah, man. Yeah. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I don't know why we're moving like we didn't we just spent the whole evening together. Now we're trying to be all, oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Like, we were just chilling here. Anyways, for those who don't know, I obviously know you, and I obviously know your testimony. But for those who don't, would you mind sharing that, please?
Yeah. So, my name's Roshaina. I was introduced already. I am 24 years old. At the time I got saved, I was like 19 or just about to turn 19. And one day I was walking through Woodbine with one of my friends, actually. And the pastor of our church at the time was in the mall. And even before I got up to him, I knew he had something to say about God. I'm like, he's one of them. Like, how you mark the people and you run from them, or you just try to avoid their path. So we didn't end up doing that to him, but obviously he stopped us, and he preached to us about Jesus. And the main question that everyone gets asked is if you were to die today, are you going to heaven or are you going to hell? And of course, me and my friend said heaven. Why would we think we're going to hell? We weren't bad people. We didn't do bad things teenagers do or whatever. And so he basically laid out just being good isn't what's going to get you into heaven.
Yeah.
Right? You have to ask for forgiveness from Jesus. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. We have all sinned. And so no one's perfect. And so that Sunday of that same week, I came out to church. And I just I don't remember the sermon at all, to be honest with you. But I do remember that there was nothing more in my life that I could do. I couldn't do anything for myself that I've already done. I bought myself stuff. There was nothing I could do to make myself happy or to feel a sense of fulfillment. And I knew I was missing something, that there was a huge void in my life. And I just felt that day, you know what, God, this is it. I'm waiting. I've been waiting for so long to accept you into my life. It's like I've watched people do it over and over again. And like, because I grew up in church, so it was nothing new to me. It was just like, why am I just taking this step now when I could have taken the step like 5-6 years ago?
Right.
But it's better late than never. So that day I gave my life to Christ, never looked back. And yeah, fast forward to today, I'm married to Jason.
Boom.
On a podcast.
Boom.
Also doing something else, but you'll see in the end of the video.
Boom. We making moves over here. But yeah, you know, I obviously know, you know, your testimony. Every testimony is powerful in its own rank. It's just great to, you know, hear, you know, where people have come from and how they've came to Jesus. It just makes it oh so sweeter and so much better, you know. Not that the gospel needs to be any better, you know. It's perfect the way it is, right? But it's just amazing, right? Our story. Let's talk about our story. How did we manage to, you know, become one?
Guys, he had the hugest crush on me.
Stop this, please.
I walked in the church and he was like, wow, what's that?
You wish. You wish that was the case. You know what? But honestly, in most of the times, that is the case. For some people, guys usually, right? It's usually the guy that's like, yo, that girl, you know? It's usually the guy that initially, you know, starts it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a guy that's usually attracted first, and then, yeah. But in this case, in this instance, it was actually her that was attracted first, right? I didn't even know this. I had no clue, but she was seeking God in prayer, and she was fasting for me.
Okay, stop lying. You're going way too far.
Okay, I'm just joking. I'm just playing. But
wow.
But yeah, our story. Honestly, the way it you know happened. So yeah, Roshaina came to church, and you know, she was in church, and you know, she, you know, was getting involved, and she was just, you know, serving God and just doing what she had to do. Honestly, I had no like desire for her at all. I didn't really, you know, like her like that, right? But over time, just being around her in outreach, concerts, invasion teams, fellowships, right? You're around someone so much, right? You start to see, you know, who they really are as a person, right? And you know, it's like, whoa, you know, I actually, you know, I think I, you know, see a future with this person. So, you know, long story short, Roshaina liked me first, but then I fell madly in love after. But yeah, that's my side of the story. I don't know what her side of the story is.
So my side of the story, yes, I did like him first, and he loves telling that story because, you know, he feels hot because no one's ever liked him before.
Woo! Don't do that now. Back in my day.
Okay, so my side of the story, yeah, like I had, like, what do you expect? Like, you come, like, obviously when you first come into church, like, you're not, like, you don't have a saved mentality. You have to gain that mentality, or like understanding of like what's what, you know. So I like, yes, I was, I don't know, I guess you could say crushing on him for like the first couple of like weeks that I was in church. It was funny because I remember it was on a night after a concert. I was walking to catch the bus home. And did I tell you this story?
No.
And I called my friend. I'm not gonna say my friend's name, but I called my friend, and I'm like, yo, there's this guy at church, and he's just like, wow, because
Wow.
you know, before like I would say before getting saved, like me and like my friends and stuff like that, we were like really into like I wouldn't say matchmaking or just like love life in general and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I guess that's where that came from. But aside from that, like as like I started to like continue coming to church and everything, like I was just noticing like you were kind of like you were a part of everything, but you made your way into leading a lot of things. So you didn't just want to sit back and let someone else do the work. You wanted to do the work. You wanted to lead drama, lead songs. I remember like the first time you led song service.
Let's not talk about that on this. That's taboo.
Library days. If you know, you know.
A lot of people know.
Yeah, but like you were, it was really it stood out to me that you wanted to be a leader, or you had aspirations of being a leader. And you know, like for me, that's something that I want, and I think that's something all women should want when looking to marriage. Not that I was looking to marriage at that point, but like you would obviously want the man to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, just like even when like we just started getting closer, because there was this one point where my mom just went to Jamaica for like
I remember
2 months.
Yeah.
And since I didn't have like my license, only because my mom would take me out of the country every single summer, and that's the reason I couldn't get it, or else I would have had it and I would have had her car. But she gave her car to Jason, okay? She just met this man.
Just met me, man.
Like, my mom is that type of person. She'll just give and give and give and give.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she gave him her car, and like he just ended up having to drive me and my sister everywhere since he had my mom's car. So, you know, we kind of got closer through that. And like even just, you know, being in church, being in the same ministries like drama and stuff.
Yeah. Like
drama was pretty much the only one we were like both in together.
Yeah,
for a
drama.
really long time.
Yeah. But yeah.
But that's my side of the story.
I like your side of the story. It's better than mine.
Has highlights.
Yeah, it has a lot of highlights. Yeah. But all right. So fast forward now, we're married, right? We're married. We've been married we're on our 3rd year.
Well, yeah, we just finished 2nd year.
Yeah, we're on a third year right now, going strong. So let's talk about what our expectations were as single people, and so our expectations as a single couple, right? Single person. Wait,
let me tell a story. Okay, so guys, when I was going to like get my bank information changed, this is when like we were engaged. And I went to go get my bank information changed, and so the lady asked me, what's your status? I'm like, okay, what do you mean by status? She's like, are you single? Are you single? Are you married? or divorced or whatever, blah blah blah, I said
Go ahead and say it.
I said I'm engaged. She said, okay, so you're single. I said no.
Oh my god.
And that was the day I realized I was still single. Guys, until you're married, you are single.
You're single until you're
married.
married.
Don't take the same L I did, please.
Don't do it. Don't take the L. Don't take the L. She took a massive L.
Huge.
Took a massive L.
But yeah.
All right, so let's get back into it. So, let's talk about being single, like getting into marriage, right? The expectations that we had, and now being married. You know, what's the reality of those expectations we had? So I guess I'll go first, and I'll just talk about the financial. Because for me, I'm like as a single person, right? You know, you're getting married now, and you're thinking, yo, I'm about to blow up, right? Financially, right? Now I'm getting married, you know, to someone else, right? We're gonna come together, we're gonna be one, and we're just gonna, you know, save a boatload of money without even trying, eyes closed. Yeah, boy, let me tell you something. You know, that's not the case. You're not gonna close your eyes and save money, right? And I learned quick. You know, you have to be intentional with everything. When it comes to marriage, you have to be intentional, and you have to be very dedicated, right? In everything, right? Especially in finances, right? You need to hold each other, you know, accountable, and just make sure that you know, you're communicating what, you know, the goals are, and you're reminding each other, hey, these are our goals. So, you know, we can't buy this, and we need to stop doing this, and right. It's very important to budget too. It's very important to budget. I don't like budgeting. I never wanted to budget, cause for me a budget is every reason to tell me, you know, not to spend money, and I don't like that. I like Amazon shopping, right?
You like Tim Hortons.
I like Tim Hortons. Right.
I like Starbucks. That's about it.
Yeah, she likes Starbucks, but I like Tim Hortons, right? But, right, and obviously those things are not, you know, wicked. Like, obviously we get Tim Hortons, we go to Starbucks, like we go out, you know, we have fun, right? But, you know, we had to learn how to be, you know, more intentional with our finances, and just, you know, just be more responsible with our money, and learn and just you know, understand that, you know, it's God's money at the end of the day, right? And if we're, you know, blowing our money on, you know, things that don't make sense, right, at the end of the day, you know, God's gonna hold us accountable for that, right? Because that could have been money that could have been blessed, right, to the church, could have been blessed to someone, right, could have, you know, been blessed by us, you know, purchasing something that would bless somebody else, right? So, you know, it's very important, right, to just be, you know, just financially, I don't know, aware, I would say, when you're married. Just be more intentional with all of that. I'm saying intentional a lot, I don't know why, but yeah, what would you say?
One of my biggest expectations, like while I was single, was like being on the same page, like you being on the same page with my emotions, like you knowing when something was bothering me, like instantly, as if like you're a mind reader or something, which you're not, but like just, and kind of like you, like also catering to my emotions. Like my emotions were never wrong, in a sense, is what I always like had a reason to validate why I was feeling this way, instead of evaluating why I was feeling this way. So that's
deep.
So like emotions, and it's a very big thing for women, I would say. So definitely don't expect your husband, or if this is from a man's point of view, your wife, to know your emotions and to know how you feel. You need to voice how you feel. It makes the hugest difference when it comes to communicating. Communication is a really big part of your marriage.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a huge part, actually. Yeah. Without communication, right? Yeah, marriage would die. um, yeah. That's good. That's very good. I really like that. Really like what you said there. Um, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, cause I think right here this is like um I don't know. I don't know if this is a common, question or a common
I think
thing.
so.
I think so too. I think so too. Right? But here it is. So, marriage, a problem solver versus marriage being a sharpening tool. I like that because a lot of people think that marriage is a problem solver,
A lot of people do.
right? It's like I'm going to get married and
my problems are gonna go away.
mhm.
Like, we're gonna have so much money, we're gonna pay off my debt.
Mm-hmm.
Not even thinking the other person might have debt. Like,
that's what?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely not a problem solver. I mean, and
No.
if you have problems in your past that you haven't reconciled with, that you haven't overcome, you're just gonna bring it into your marriage and create an even bigger problem.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, it's not, you can't look at marriage as if your problems will be solved, or as if you yourself will be solved as soon as you get married. Like,
Yeah.
it's something you need to work out in your salvation, not through your marriage.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's not to say that you have to be perfect before you get married. That is
No.
bogus, right? But going to marriage thinking that it's going to solve problems that you have internally, right? It's just going to bring chaos, and it's going to bring disaster, right? That's not what marriage is for, to solve the problems that you've been dealing with. Like, your spouse is not going to solve your problems. Right, your spouse is gonna be like, "Yo, I didn't know you had these problems, bro. I can't do this.
I have these problems. My problems are bigger than your problems. My problems are bigger than your problems." That's what's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. But no, man. I mean, marriage definitely, not a problem solver in that sense. But I personally look at marriage as a sharpening tool, right? It's like your dull pencil, right? And what marriage does, it just helps you, you sharpen your pencil, your pointier end. I know that was a super weak analogy, but I don't care. I'm gonna ride with it. I'm gonna roll with it, man. I don't care.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. There we go. Right, but yeah, marriage is it's a sharpening tool. It's a sharpening tool. I mean, you're both, you both come together as one, right? And you're talking about two, individuals that who most likely had a different walk of life. I know, me and Roshaina, like, we're coming from two different households, right? And we're coming from two different, upbringings, right? In a sense, right? So, for us, to come together, right, we have to understand each other. We have to understand what makes each other click. We have to understand, how, we express, ourselves to each other, right? And we have to understand how each other both, expresses, their relationship with God. You know what I mean? Because it's like, not everyone is gonna, how can I say this? Like, not everyone has, there's that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Not everyone has
Like I can't expect my relationship with God, right? I pray, the way I read my Bible to be the same way that you do, right?
okay.
Not to say that you're not gonna pray, you're not gonna read your word, right? But I can't expect it to be like, okay, this is how I do it, so this is how you have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You're gonna have you had a different approach.
Yeah,
right?
that's the original.
You know what I mean?
Approach. Yeah.
When you were single, right? This is how you did it, right? And when I
It
was
was
single, this is what.
weird.
Yeah, I know.
When we
Yeah.
first like had to like pray in front of each other, I just felt so odd. I don't know if you felt the same way.
I did.
And I was
I'm not
scared.
gonna lie.
You know, when you're praying and you're trying to pray for somebody, but you don't want somebody to hear you praying for them.
Yeah.
And you start
mumbling.
It felt weird, to
I
be
know.
honest. Now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. But in the beginning, it definitely felt weird.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, God, I just pray you.
That's true.
Oh man. But yeah, marriage is a sharpening tool. That's powerful though. That's very, very powerful. But yeah, marriage is definitely a great sharpening tool. I actually think that marriage is your spouse, right? Your spouse is the outside of salvation, right? Outside of Jesus, your spouse is the greatest investment you can make. And I know that might sound a bit like, what? Yeah, my wife's not an investment, right? But if you do feel like that, just hear me out. Just try to understand what I'm trying to say. With an investment, what do you do with an investment? You invest in something in hopes that it will grow, in hopes that the return will come back, and it will bless you, and that the return will just keep on coming, right? Same way, right, with your spouse, right? If you invest in your spouse, right, you are expecting her to grow. You're expecting her to be able to return, right, that investment into you, right? And your spouse is the return that your spouse can give to you is greater than any physical, monetary return you could get anywhere, right? Because right now, if I invest into you, right, and it blesses you, it helps you, right, get better as a person, get better as the woman that God has called you to be. What are you gonna do, right? You as a woman, you're gonna feel obligated, right, to do the same for your husband.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're gonna come and you're gonna say, no, you know what? I wanna return, right, this investment, right, double fold to my husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And that, like, that could be anything, right? In the marriage, that could be anything, in your life. I mean, that's just how I look at it, and that's what I've realized, through the 2 years being married, right? If you invest, right things into your spouse, the return will come back to you. But however, if you're neglecting, right, that investment, or you're not investing into that investment, right, you're not gonna get a return.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And you're gonna wonder to yourself, yo, why is my investment not growing? Why is it not giving me a return? Well, because you're not invested in your investment.
And like, don't wait on one or the other to start investing in each other, because if you do that and no one ends up investing in each other, then it's like, okay, well, we're both just gonna sit here and not grow. So
Yeah.
like, be the bigger person. I feel like adults can be very kiddish sometimes.
Yeah. You know. We're not talking about
Me
anybody in
included. Me
particular.
included.
Yeah, we're not talking about anybody in particular. People like, yo, are they talking about me, dog? Nah, bro, don't come knocking on my door. I won't open. But yeah, yeah, you're my greatest investment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you are. But if I get that Corvette though, nah, I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you. Yeah, I really like that though. I really, really like that. Um, you know what though? Um, I don't know if you ever, thought about this, right? I just kind of been thinking about this of lately, right? When it comes to the roles of, the husband and the wife, right? Obviously, the Bible says that the husband is the head of the home, right? And the Bible commands us to, as a man, to love our wife like Christ loved the church, right? So we understand that we have a responsibility to head the home and to love and care, for our wives and for our families, our homes, our households, right? What I've come to realize is that not to say that I didn't realize this before, right? But it's become more clear to me now that, right, you being my wife, right? It's not like you're just a second string. I don't even know if you would know what this means, but it's not like you're a second string, point guard, where you're a bench warmer, right? In the grand scheme of things, but you're if I'm a head coach, right, you're my assistant coach, right? You're there to give me direct assistance, right? And again, it's not like I did not know this, right? It just began to become more clear to me, right, how effective you are and how effective you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
right? Just not on the sidelines, kind of, just watching, but you're my assistant coach when things are going a bit, when things are going a bit shaky. You're there to instill, right, your words of comfort, affirmation, just help me out in whatever time, right, I'm in, or I'm facing, whatever it is. And right, the same goes for the husband too. But sometimes I feel like when we talk about like the roles of, right, the husband and the wife, sometimes like I think like the wife, the role of the wife can be like a bit boring.
Yeah.
If I can say that.
I like how you mentioned we're not just here to be bench warmers or to sit on the sidelines. And I feel like sometimes the definition of being a helper can get misinterpreted to being that. Like it being, because the wife is supposed to be the helper, and that's the way that God wanted it to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean all we do is cook and clean and
right,
do laundry and whatever and make the house look nice, but it's a lot more than that, especially in the within the spiritual aspect of our marriage. Praying for each other is like the number one thing that you need to do in your marriage. And praying for your husband as a wife can do like wonders, like, because you obviously can't change a man, but God can. So your prayers can be very effective in the sense that if you see your husband's going through a hard time or struggling with something or needs to overcome something of his past, just pray for him, and you're going to see that God is going to honor your prayers. And that, like, that is a testimony in itself, that you're praying for someone and that the prayers are actually coming through.
Yeah.
You're not just praying and nothing's happening. And that also means too that, like, your husband is also, like, healthy or getting or becoming more healthy spiritually. Especially if the prayers are getting answered, because God wouldn't answer prayers if people weren't doing well, right? So
yeah. And just to add to what you said, obviously, like what you're saying, like one prayer, right, it's not gonna solve
no.
your entire problems. Right.
Prayer. God, make him wash the dishes, please.
Don't pray for that. But yeah, I mean, just being consistent in your presence, just consistently seeking God for your significant other, regardless of how long or how difficult it might be. I know it's easy to say, it's definitely harder to do, right? Because we as humans have a tendency to get away, or stop, I should say stop doing things, or just give up on doing things, because they
accepting that this is the way
accepting the that this is the way it is, and just saying, forget it, they're not gonna change. But you don't know that, so just continue pressing forward, continue pushing for that person, significant other. Doesn't even have to be your spouse. If this is if it's for your brother, whatever, sister, mother, father, best friend, whatever, co-worker, you continue pushing for that person, and you never know what can happen. But yeah, that was so good. That was amazing. Thank you so much, wife.
No problem, husband.
Wow. Thank you. But before we go, I want to kind of you're making a lot of moves now. You're making moves. You're a businesswoman right now. So just talk to us about the moves that you're making right now.
Yeah, so guys, I have started a candle business, starting a small business, seeing where it takes us. And it's not just my business, it's your business too.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you have a part in it. You fund it.
I fund it. That is true.
He funds all of my purchases. When you see FedEx, when you see Amazon, when you see what else? UPS, anything. Just know it's me. But yeah, it's called Sweet Scents Candles, and we have scents ranging from birthday cake, vanilla, coconut, cinnamon, pumpkin spice, and there's going to be more to come for the winter Christmas season, more like winter scents. And you guys are actually, what? I'm excited for this. We're both really excited.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna have a pop-up shop, and this is gonna be like my first time ever doing something like this. It's crazy. But a pop-up shop on November 7th. I don't know too much of the details right now, but November 7th, it's a Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you guys have the time, check us out. Everything's going to be in the description box, so we'll put like the link to the Instagram, and I'm having a website that's going to launch pretty soon, so you guys will be able to have access to that, and just to check out everything, our products. And yeah, we're gonna have fun at this pop-up shop. Hopefully, like, it goes well and like we sell out the first time we have a pop-up shop.
That would be amazing.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sweet Scents Candles. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Sweet Scents Candle.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be in the description box. Buy a candle or two. Support the business. Support the Novams.
Yeah, support us.
The Novams need your support.
Yeah. Support us.
Please, we need a house.
Don't beg. Don't beg.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
Oh my Goodness.
But it's crazy. Everyone's starting a small business, like or like not that people are starting. People are coming out now, because when you started, like, entrepreneurs, they start a long time before they finally come out, because they have to build what they're going to bring to you.
Right.
And it's like a lot of people are coming out this year, especially in church. Like, there's just businesses everywhere, flying like business.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to be shouting out businesses the next, who knows, like 10 videos to get through all of the people that are having businesses. It's a lot.
I really like that though. I really like that. It's just owning something, and just being more than just a regular Joe, just having a vision and saying, you know what, I'm gonna go after that vision, right? Not that there's anything wrong with working. Anyone that says, you know what, I don't want a business, I just want to work a regular 9 to 5, that's good, that's commendable, right? God's still gonna honor that, right? But for the person who's saying, I want to start a business, that's healthy, that's a good thing, continue to strive for that, and just give yourself to it, and who knows, you might be the next Jeff Bezos. Not with my help though. Just joking. But anyways, that was amazing. We're gonna close it off. Thank you guys for listening. So please remember to take a look at Stay Blameless, stay_blameless, and that's for Blameless Clothing. Also take a look at Today Is Not Owned clothing. All the information is going to be in the bio, and please check out Sweet Scents Candles. You can find them on Instagram at Sweet Scents Candles, and they also have a website. So I'm going to put all that stuff in the bio, so please check it out. And thank you guys again for listening to this episode. Thank you, wife, you were amazing. And honestly, just stay tuned for the next one. We're just hoping to bring you guys more content, and that we can just continue to be a blessing. And I hope that this is blessing people. If it's not, I'm gonna stop.
You're not gonna stop.
If it's not blessing people, I will. But I believe it is. So until next time, thank you guys.
P.I.A.
P.I.A.